Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? Well, today it's RPG A Day 2019, Day 12, and our word for today is friendship. And this is one of my favorite prompts for this particular RPG A Day. It's something that is really special to me. You know, we humans are social creatures. Without friendships, we kind of cease to thrive. And life is a gift that is best shared. And it really sucks if you have nobody to share it with, like if you have no friends. Some of us make friends really, really easily, and we have more friends than we can count. But others of us, it's harder for us to make friends, and we tend to have a small group of friends, which we have closer, more profound relationships with. None of this is really news. This is just how people are. And speaking of how people are, don't quote me on this, but I've heard anthropologists say that people evolved to live in groups of about 150 individuals. Everybody knows everybody. If you find tribes or groups of people, bands, clans, around the world, it's a small group like that, and we're designed to relate to that kind of group of people. And likewise, I've heard from another source that the average person knows 500 people by first name. I don't know if this is true or not, but I suppose like every time I learn some new person's name, then like some sixth grade teacher or like coworker, well they're out. That's out of the working memory. That's all I have. Maybe it's just because of age, you know. But all kidding aside, the thing that we tend to do, or at least I've heard we tend to do, and my experience backs this up. Oh, there's a friend of mine right now messaging a group of us. What my experience backs up is this idea that we live in these huge societies. It's rather artificial for us, so we create our own tribe based on the people we work with, based on our family, the people we interact with all the day, the guy that we meet at the shop that we just kind of buy coffee from every day, all that stuff. That becomes kind of our tribe, the people we deal with all the time. That's all well and good. But sometimes, those members of our tribe that we've kind of assembled through our work, our day and our life, they aren't necessarily the people we would have picked to be in our tribe. They're just the people we tend to associate with. Sometimes we realize that we're not always associating with our peers, whatever that means, and that can leave us wanting. And I certainly have had that kind of experience. And, you know, so what do? We try to like find people that match us better. And there's certainly some areas in my life where I have, and one area in particular, well, I have made these really profound and deep friendships where we share a common experience, you know, and some of these friendships are the most profound I have, where we are very intimately connected, and these are cool. However, even in those cases, sometimes not all these people are completely of my tribe because maybe we share this common experience, but maybe they're not my peer in a different way. It's impossible to find something that matches you entirely. That's not what I'm talking about. But maybe it's just in levels of interest. Maybe it's in levels of intellect. Maybe it's just in the things that we really like, or just the way we view the world, that sort of thing. And one of the neat things that role-playing games allow us to do is to meet other members of our tribe. And I'm not talking about all gamers because gaming is this very wide and diverse group of people, and there are all kinds of people in it. And they're all kind people with all kinds of intentions. There's people with all kinds of qualities. There's people with all kinds of levels of interest in various things. We're not all going to match with each other. We're not all going to agree all the time. But as you navigate your way through that group and use some kind of vetting process, who am I going to game with? Because I think that's essential to really decide, and not in a really discriminatory way. Well, I suppose if you look up the meaning of that word, yeah, but not in a negative way, but in who actually is a fit for me, who is actually kind of a member of my tribe. In this case, we use this vetting process. We end up with some individuals that can be part of this, the people that we would have picked to be friends, that we would have picked to associate with, people that get us, people that we have connections with. And once we've done that, what role-playing games allow us to do, which is something I said a while ago, this is going to be a longer video, but I really like this topic. And this is something that really exemplifies RPG A Day being about positivity. Once we sit down at the table, unlike a lot of other activities, role-playing games allow us to share common experiences that didn't really happen, as if they were real. And we can build memories of these events as if they were real. I'm sure most of you have had this experience where you get together, you talk about something that happened in a game, or you think about something that happened in a game, and it seems like a real memory. And I'm not talking about in the psychotic way. Just it was, you were right there. It really happened, and sharing those experiences with people that you already connect with, that can be very, very profound. And not only that, but then we talk after the game about what happened, about the characters, about what the characters did, about what the players did. We get to, start to care about each other's lives. We talk about, hey, what's going on? Has this happened? We can share each other's joys, and we can bear each other's burdens when, life becomes, a little less fortunate and, life gets hard. We can be there for each other. And we start to develop some closer bonds. And so that's, part of my experience in the role-playing game hobby is it's been great. I can cast this wide net because the internet has opened everything up. Sometimes it's hard to find the people that are a great fit for you locally, but now, the internet allows me to talk to anybody in the world. That's great. And I have had the privilege of assembling a small group of people that are friends. And the bad part of that, the negative part of that, is that we live hundreds, sometimes thousands of miles away from each other, completely different time zones, sometimes way off. So we can't all get together and get a cup of coffee. We can't go out for lunch. We can't go to a concert together. We can't do things that I can do with my local friends, my local, right there, flesh and blood. Not that these other people aren't flesh and blood. I'm pretty sure they exist. That's unfortunate, but life is hard. But these are the kind of people that I would rather hang out with than a lot of my acquaintances. So at the end of the day, I've made some really profound friendships in the role-playing game hobby. People that, I've come to enjoy, that we've come to understand each other. We've talked about things that have nothing to do with gaming. We've talked about issues that, some issues on a deep level about the human condition that I'm never going to talk to with the guy that's working next to me, or the guy down the street at the coffee shop or whatever, or even some of my other friends. And so I treasure these friendships that I've gained in the role playing game hobby. So yeah, this is a good topic. I enjoy participating in RPG a day, and I enjoy the friends that I've gained. Have a good one, kids. And I still have trouble ending the broadcast. I hope my friends will forgive me.